So Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game based primarily around criminal activity, and one of the biggest components of criminal activity that sort of gets left out of the game, more in as an optional component, but it was really more so in Vice City, was the aspect of money laundering. And we're gonna show you how to launder money today in this video. Money laundering is the practice of taking dirty money, aka ill-gotten gains, and running it through a system. It's a 3-step process of placement, placing it in a bank, layering, moving it around as much as possible to make the path of money trail indistinguishable, and then integration, where you take your now laundered money and spend it. In Grand Theft Auto Online, this primarily concerns the layering portion of the game. So, what is dirty money? Dirty money in Grand Theft Auto Online is money you've acquired through glitching, modded money that's come into the server and inflated the economy. You've been gifted somehow a form of illegitimate currency by someone else. This happened a lot. A few months ago, people were giving away billions of dollars to people, putting bounties on them worth $2 billion. So you'd have a bunch of hot, dirty money that could be taken away at a moment's notice. Now, the key here is how you're able to layer the money. Since placing it in a bank is something you're going to do immediately, I mean, it's a no-brainer. You're going to have to do it. The layering portion is the thing we're concerned about. Now, layering simply is the practice of moving money around through various sources, both legitimate and illegitimate, somehow trying to lose money while trying to gain some real money back. So how we do this in Grand Theft Auto 5 Online Edition, we take our base dirty money, our currency, and we run it through 2 distinct options. One, services in-game, and we'll break that down in a bit. And 2, the acquisition of assets, and we'll break that down as it follows. So going into the service portion, part 1, services are rendered by various characters in-game. You spend money, they do stuff for you. Services break down into 2 distinct forms. One is one-way direct services. You give them your money. And 2 is reusable services where you can actually somehow get your money back. In step 1, this would be simply calling up like Merryweather, having them pull out an airstrike, an ammo drop, something like that. These are services where the money gets transactioned into an actual service as opposed to you getting money back. In some instances, you might get an asset like an ammo drop, or say the helicopter, you pick up a helicopter or boat. Other instances could be like the helicopter that shoots people, the backup helicopter. That's a service in itself. Mercenaries, you're not really getting anything from that. An airstrike, I guess if you count the flare as an asset, you're retarded. But it is pretty cool, so I take that back. The second aspect of services is services where you're able to actually launder money. And in this instance, it's not spillage like we did with Service 1. And spillage simply is money that is lost in the Grand Theft Auto universe. It's money it's operational costs, it's taxes, it's bribes, it's whatever. It's money that you're not getting back, essentially. And I just wanted to define that before we go into part 2. Part 2 concerns mostly using Lester in this instance. You'd put, for example, a $10,000 bounty on your friend, of which $9,000 is now collectible. You kill your friend, that $9,000 you get back is legitimate money. It's clean money now. That $1,000 that Lester took is spillage. That's lost money. You don't care. It doesn't matter. That's just the price of doing business this way. So, for example, if you do this with your friend, you'll actually get clean money, and that in itself is money laundering. That's just one phase of it. Services like that. You can also use Lamar if your friend has dirty money, and then you collect their money by calling up Lamar and spending whatever, like $1,000 that it costs to get the mugger, and your friend, say they have dirty money on them, and when you kill the mugger or they kill the mugger, they get clean money back through that service, essentially. Even though it doesn't make sense in real life, it makes sense in game. Now, the bigger thing out of this whole branch of ways of layering, the methodology of layering, we'll call it, because that sounds a lot better, is the second phase, the acquisition of assets. So assets break down into 4 distinct categories. Number 1, non-transferable, non-sellable assets. In this case, it's simply buying stuff, like you're buying a yacht, a boat, various things in the game, planes. These are assets that you can't sell, you can't transfer ownership to someone. What they are is they're simply a means of spending your dirty cash. And for the most part, this comprises spending a lot of dirty money on clean objects. That in itself launders the money, because Rockstar actually doesn't remove objects that are gotten through ill-gotten gains. They simply keep the object, but the money gets disintegrated. So, for example, if you had like $5 billion and you decided you're going to buy a Vestra for $1 million. The remainder of the money, when Rockstar does a maintenance patch, will be gone because it's, say, modded money or whatever. But the Vestra will still be there. You'll still have access to it because it is an asset, and assets do not get removed from the game. Save for assets that are locked by level, like the tank that was fixed via patch. But you basically spend your money on assets you can buy. This also includes clothing, because clothing you cannot sell to other players. You can't transfer your clothes to other players. Clothing ostensibly has no purpose in the game aside from spending money on it and owning it. So if you have to launder a large amount of money, simply buying all of the Pegasus library of vehicles, the vehicles you can't sell or transfer ownership to, and buying all the clothing is a good way to sort of waste cash. This is mass spillage, but it's not really spillage, I guess, because you're getting an asset in return. You're getting something tangible as opposed to money. The next in our list, step 2, is single-use assets, and this comes in the form of bullets and, I guess, snacks and food. What these are, and even armor, these are assets that you use basically one time. For example, you can fire a bullet once. It can't go back into your container of bullets. You can't go collect bullets, obviously, that have been shot, because that's retarded. But it is a good way to sort of spend or transfer your dirty money into an asset. And that's pretty key to money laundering in game, because you transfer the dirty money into something tangible, like I said in the last instance. However, with Category 1 assets, you can constantly reuse them, calling it Pegasus or simply changing your outfit. Category 2 assets, you can only use once. So the bullet gets expended, it's gone. This doesn't actually work for guns. Guns are not in this category. It's mostly bullets and snacks, something that you discard after using immediately. And as this game is based around criminal elements and you need bullets to survive, the more you have, the more ammunition you have, the better off you'll be. So I just recommend, if you start a new job, simply buying all the ammo as you can on the screen for a nominal cost, and that gets rid of some of your dirty money. And you'll have more than enough ammunition to last for probably the remainder of your time playing Grand Theft Auto Online. After the break, we reveal the remaining ways of how to launder money in Grand Theft Auto 5. Are you worried about modded money coming into your server and affecting your game? Were you wrongly given money by modders inside the game? Did you accidentally join a money lobby? Did you accidentally glitch your way to massive fortunes and wealth and are worried about Rockstar banning you from the game? Don't get banned, get bank. Better call Jim. The law offices of Jimothy and Associates. Number 1. In a legal glitch money investment consultation, we will tell you where to invest your ill-gotten gains in-game into legitimate ways to make currency. And then you don't even get banned. Don't get banned, get bank. Better call Jim. We have operators on the line waiting for you to call. We accept all major credit cards. American Express not accepted. Welcome back. Category 3 assets come in the form of transferable assets. These are assets that you can't actually sell. They have no monetary value to like shops and NPCs in game. But what they do have is the ability to be transferred. So this is primarily in the form of guns. You buy a gun from Ammunition at a nominal price, say like $50,000 for the Goose and Bird Sweeper or like the minigun, and then you can go outside and simply deposit the gun into the ground using the ammo drop trick. It's right there, clear as crystal on your menu, and your friend can pick up the gun, and then what you've done is transferred the money into an asset and given the asset away. And you can do this ad nauseum, however long you need to clean your money. You're not cleaning money this method, but you are taking your dirty money, transferring it into an asset, and giving that asset to a friend. And then you can simply repeat the process if you want the gun again. It's a little tricky, but it's an okay way of getting rid of money fast. That's not the best way of dealing with money laundering. The best way to transfer your funds is through Category 4 assets, and these are resellable assets. This primarily concerns property and vehicles that you can actually sell to Los Santos Customs. Los Santos Customs, at its finest, is essentially a wheelhouse, a factory, if you will, that takes your dirty money and gives you clean money, so you look better on the server. Now how this works, and we're going to do some basic simple math here. Say you buy yourself an Entity XF for $750,000 in game. So now we've spent $750,000 dirty money into this car already. We take it over to Los Santos Customs. We're going to have to spend, say, another 150-ish to get it up to viable sales standards, and that includes fully modifying the car, giving it turbo tuning, giving it sort of speed acceleration, engine upgrades, stuff like that. Anything that can make it faster and more viable for LSC to take as a trade-in is better. Now what we've done is we've essentially spent $150 in operational costs in spillage to Los Santos Customs. They'll give us a number back. That number is clean money, essentially. The number they tell us, say it's like $700,000 after you spend all your mod upgrades. So now at this point, we spent $900,000 into this car of dirty money. The retail we're getting back is $700 from Los Santos Customs. $700,000. So we take the base price, right? The $750 we originally spent, we compare it to the price we're getting back. $700,000. There's a $50,000 difference between them. That goes into spillage again, along with the modification costs. So that really that raises the price of the original car to $900,000 that we've spent, and we're getting $700,000 in clean money back. And doing this transaction gives us the most money back of clean money, and we only had to spend $200,000 of our money in operational costs, spillage, and losses. What you did was you took $900,000 dirty money and got $700,000 clean money back. And that is pretty decent. I can't complain about that. That is easily one of the biggest ways to launder money in Grand Theft Auto 5. Aside from purchasing assets, and if you have money, let's examine the purpose of money in-game, right? At this phase, having like billions of dollars and not spending it is stupid. Why wouldn't you buy the whole Pegasus library of vehicles? You have no reason not to. Nothing would ever expend your money. You don't need to save it for that much. You need to have a base amount of money that's operational costs for you, for example, like $20 million total. But you don't need to have like $2 billion. What does that do? That gives you services for the next 50 years in-game, if you wanted to be like that. But you're not going to be like that, because the game won't last that long. Just thinking like street smart wise. Repeat the process until all your funds have been cleaned. So you have to basically keep track of how much money is going in and out. It's a long process, but it's a way of making sure you don't get banned by Rockstar via cleaning your money and using the money laundering tactics that are actually shown in single player. In single player, when they do their heist missions, they simply buy actual businesses in-game as optional businesses after the story. You can buy like the Whiskey A Go-Go, I think it's called Tequila La, or Tequila LA, whatever. Whiskey A Go-Go, Tequila La, they're the same place. One's in real life, one is not. And you buy it in-game, you do the missions, and that's now a new source of income. It's money laundering. What will be a big, I think, method of money laundering in the future is when Rockstar implements the casino. That will be huge. Why? Because you can actually take your dirty money en masse, whatever the table limits are, use it at the casino, and the casino will clean your money through winnings. The winnings is clean money. The losses is spillage. You're losing track of the dirty money. And that will be a way to clean money in an instant. If they had stock trading, you could do that and simply have clean money in a few seconds. But they didn't add that implementation because of there being dirty money in the game. Otherwise, they would have done it. So right now, this is your main guide to how to do money laundering pre-casino patch, whenever that comes. I hope you guys found this informative. You're going to go get some modded money or accrue some ill-gotten funds and wish to not get banned by Rockstar. This is your number one guide to doing it. I hope you found it informative. Be sure to hit that like button and share it on your social media platforms. It really helps me out. I'm on the road to 200,000 subscribers, so if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, friend. YouTube.com/McCallahan Industries. Lots of fun Easter eggs coming in the future. You can also follow me on Twitter at TheJimothy. Also Twitch.tv/TheJimothy. There I do live streams from time to time. Next time we find a new wonder weapon in-game, Jimbo for Shimbo. Out!